No, my Heidi, my welcome to Pilates. We've got about 4 minutes till class will start. So if you have some little green balls, you could put them underneath your feet and give them a little bit of a roll. Maybe do some cats and cows while you're waiting, just for a couple of people to join us. See, 2 people are here. That's great to see. Hey Brenda, great to see you. So we'll just wait for another couple of minutes. So I'm rolling my feet on some little balls here, but if you didn't have any little blue balls, you could maybe take some cats and cows while we're just waiting till 9 o'clock. So we know it's Friday because we're here doing Pilates, and I've washed my hair. So that's how I know it's the day of the week I'm in. I wonder how you know what day you're in. Hey Caroline, great to see you. We're just rolling our feet with some balls or taking a few cats and cows just till we get to 9 o'clock. So feel free to do whatever little stretches are nice for you to warm up a little bit while you're waiting. Morena Di, great to see you. We're just rolling our feet on some green balls or taking some cats and cows while we're waiting for 9 o'clock. Grabbing your props. If you've got some props, you can grab those too. Just got, by my watch, just got a couple more minutes. Atamarie Dai, great to hear from you. Thank you for that. One more minute. Just let my dog in. She's out here trying to come in. Come on. Come and say hi. Summer, come over here. Come and say hi. Here's Summer. Good girl. That's right. I'll pop her out. Okay, so let's all, wherever we are, just check we've got some props, maybe something to stretch out over to open up your obliques. Could be a couple of blocks, could be a roller. I'll just let you know if I can as we go along what props you could use. And otherwise, no, my Heidi Mai, and welcome to number 6 of our oblique series. So we're going to just see how we're going today with our obliques. We'll take some of those, the fetal 5, which is a great oblique exercise, and then we'll challenge ourselves a little bit with a couple of those more challenging exercises, side planks and the side kicks when we're on our knees. So if you've been doing these exercises, if we've done some of those previously, you'll better see if you've got a little bit more, a little stronger or more stable or more comfortable, maybe you can breathe more easily. Those are all ways to know if you're making some progress. Control and breath, really. Okay, so let's just start with some cats and cows. We're on our hands and knees. Stack those wrists underneath your hands and knees underneath your hips, and we'll just break it down a little bit. So we'll exhale, scoop that belly up and towards that lower spine and get that lovely lift. Tuck the chin, gaze towards your thighs or belly button if you can. And then pulling your hands back, which is an isometric activity. I can't see you do it. We just activate pulling the hands back to straighten the back, and then keep going so that we can tuck our chin still and stick our bottom up in the air a little bit. Get that lovely big curve. We don't want to overextend our neck though, so we're trying to not do this. We don't really want that chin sticking out, especially. I can see a couple of people who like to do that, so try and keep that chin tucked as we come up. Let's break it down again. We'll come back to neutral, exhale, inhale to neutral, exhale to extension, inhale to neutral, push the mat away, exhale to our lovely flexion, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale. And then you could do a few more flowing movements if you'd like to, just up and down. Remembering you can also do a little bit of nice work. Morena, great to see you. Katrina and Brenda. You can put your left shoulder over towards your left hip, have a little bit of a twerk there, and the other way too, just because we are going to be using our obliques today, so nice to warm those up as well. And you could take any movement that feels good for here. We can move around our hips in one direction, move our hips in the other direction, really whatever feels good for you. Kia ora Liz, great to see you. Just saw your article about your kitchen on Facebook. Still using your barbecue and having your fridge in the bathroom. It sounds like it could be pretty tiresome by now. Okay, so let's from here just find something to lie over. So if you do have a roller, you'd be putting it across your back. If you had a rolled up blanket across your back as well. Same with your block, otherwise it might be a blue ball that you're putting underneath here. Kia ora Pat, great to see you. I'm just going to turn the camera so you can come down with me. So underneath that area between the shoulder blades, do support your head. If you don't have a block, then maybe come down to the ground or roll up a blanket instead. So we'll just take a couple of breaths here, just settling. Feel free to take some little pelvic tilts. Beautiful. And then bring your arms up. And we're just going to move one arm at a time. So I'll move the arm closest to you, up and down. And those little serratus push-up movements that we use. We're reaching the arm forward towards the ceiling, drawing it back. And if you did have something between your shoulder blades, you can feel that lovely movement, lubricating the joint. Let's do 4 or 5 on the other side, the arm furthest away from you and me. And then we can put that together, reach away, draw back. If you had a block between your hands, you could absolutely do that. You could have some little weights in your hands as well if you wanted to. Beautiful. Warming that up really nicely. Now we're thinking about these ribs. We're wanting to draw these ribs down and away from us. So let's just have a little think about that. Morena Kathy, Morena, nice to see you. Let's, kia ora Rach. Let's have a little pause here and just rock a couple of times. Beautiful. Think about drawing these ribs away from us as we exhale, drawing the ribs in and down, away from us. So just come back to that beautiful breath, letting our collarbones wide and open over whatever little prop you've got. Beautiful. Inhaling, let's draw the arms up again. Exhale, take your ribs down and away from you towards each other and towards the mat. And let's take our one arm, so maybe the arm that's nearest to you, down, and the opposite arm back. And we're still drawing the ribs down and away from us. Inhale back, exhale away. Inhale back, exhale away. Really feel that drawing together of the ribs as you exhale. And as always, it's not about how long or how far our arms can go. They might reach the mat in front of us, they might not. And you could again absolutely put some little small hand weights or cans in your arms, particularly if you stopped and paused for a few breaths, then you could really get a lovely long stretch here. Let's just try one more. Stretch it away, hold, Can you draw your ribs closer together even more? And then inhale back, exhale away again. Draw the rib cage down, feel that lovely stretch. And back, beautiful. On some little clocks now. So the same idea here, we really want to draw these ribs together as much as possible. Great to see you. So we're going to take a big breath in, and then exhale, draw your hands up, ribs down, that opposition, away, and back to the middle. Inhale, exhale, inhale back, exhale away, inhale back, exhale away, inhale back. Again, if you've got little hand weights, absolutely use them, but maybe slow this down even more. Beautiful. And let's try the other way. Inhale, prepare, exhale, away and down. Beautiful. Inhale. Feel those ribs drawing down, moving separately from our shoulders. One more. Beautiful. Let your arms just open up, nice and long. Let them completely relax here. Again, drawing those ribs down away from us as much as we can. The only trouble with school starting is now you get to hear Ben Burkett. Perhaps you can hear him in our kitchen straight above, and I can hear him heavily footed around the place. Whereas previous weeks he's been asleep at this time. Beautiful job. Okay, so let's roll to one side. And again, if you still have a roller, you can put this lengthwise across your spine now. Otherwise, let's just lie down on our backs. Do put your little towel underneath the back of the head to support yourself. Oh, Bina, you're tough. Going to Kathy and me. You're going to be a very fit girl at the end of COVID. Okay, so same idea here. Arms up. Let's do those single serratus lift. So arm closest, draw it away, bring it back. Just giving that range of movement. The other arm, draw it away, bring it back. And then both arms away and back. Beautiful. Onto our clocks. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, one arm up, one arm down. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, back. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Just resisting that movement of the ribs. Noticing if your pelvis or neck want to move. Just noticing that that's a little compensation that might be happening in your body. If you spread your hands wide, you might be able to get a thumb or a fingertip to the mat. That's just something else you can observe, as if one side has a little bit more range than the other. Again, we're just observing our body with love and kindness. We're not trying to judge it or anything like that. Beautiful. Okay, onto our clock. So again, inhaling, and we're going to move out and around and bring them back. I like to exhale, inhale back, exhale out, inhale back. If you've got any little clicking or discomfort here, make your range much smaller and check that you're bringing your muscles into the midline. You're really bringing your shoulder joints in to your arm sockets into your shoulders. You're not letting yourself pop out. Let's try the other direction, just 3 or 4. Really active through those fingertips, finding length here and being conscious of those ribs. Beautiful. Bring your hands to your sides. If you did have a rolled up blanket or a ball or a block, pop it between your knees, and we're just going to squeeze here. Squeeze the knees,
hold for a few seconds and release. Just warming up our inner thighs or adductors, which we know help fire up our inner thighs too. So keep going here. Squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. Great job. Squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. We can add our lift and lowers to this, squeezing and lifting and lowering. Just lengthening through the crown of the head, checking you've got everything as neutral as you can in your body. So a little tuck of the chin, lengthen through the crown of the head, a nice soft space under your lumbar spine, just warming up. One more up, one more down. Beautiful. Take that little ball away onto our knee openers. So you could have feet close together if you've been doing Pilates for a while, otherwise knees are hip distance apart and heels are quite close to your bottom. Remember, we're challenging our hip stability here. So when you're ready, big breath in and out. Inhale, open your knee. I'm doing the knee closest to you, opening it. And using my inner thighs, I've just activated to bring it back. Try that again, the leg closest to me and back. So think about those inner thighs. You could even give them a little tap if you're not sure if they're actually helping to come on. And it's not about how open the knee can go, it's about how still these hip points are. And are you now using your transverse abdominis? So you could take those peace fingers. As you exhale, draw the leg back in. Feel that you've got that lower part of your belly coming on to help as well. Inner thighs and transverse abdominis. Let's try that on the other side. Gently opening. Again, give your inner thigh a tap. Push through your heel. It's always a great way to get more muscle, is to really push the part of your body that's on the mat into the ground. Beautiful. Opening and shutting. Beautiful job. Keep going here. Again, I'm just monitoring that I'm using my transverse abdominis. I'm pulling up my belly button, tucking it under the ribs as I'm drawing my legs open. Beautiful job. Let's try alternating. And if you want a little challenge, you could absolutely add some arm work here. Have some little weights in your hands if you'd like to. So I've got these little 1 kg weights, but you might have some cans from home. As you open the leg nearest and close it, maybe we can do our scissor arms at the same time. So we take one arm away, one back, draw the legs in, one arm away and back, draw it in. Something like that. Tricky to talk at the same time. Let's do about 6 more. Really focusing on that lower belly, drawing in, inner thighs, activating. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Coordination, control and concentration there. Great job. Let's go on to our heel slide. So again, we were just testing, could our hips tip from side to side. Now it's rocking forwards and backwards. We really don't want them to do that. Remember, you can put a little rolled up towel underneath your lumbar spine and use that to push down into to give you more stability here, particularly if you're nursing a lower back. I know at the moment it's can be a little bit of a worry for us. We really don't want to injure ourselves. So remember, no pain, no pins and needles. So let's draw this leg closest to us with a flexed foot. We're drawing it along our mat or carpet, any amount, and then pushing the heel into the mat to draw it back. You might lose a sock like I have. Draw the leg away, same side, draw it back. Beautiful. Keep going. Draw it away and draw it back. Beautiful. Use that resistance to really get that lower belly working. Draw your belly in and up as you draw the leg up. Draw your side weights in and up as you draw your knee up. Let's try the opposite side. Draw it away, push the knee, the heel in to draw it back. Beautiful job. Nice and easy breathing. The belly's still lifting and lowering. Beautiful. One more out and one more in, and then we'll try alternating again, drawing one out, drawing it in, drawing out, drawing in, and you're welcome to bring your arms up as you do this. Again, you might have some little hand weights you could use, and we can take some little tricep dips. Bring those elbows up towards your face. The elbows don't move, just the arms, the forearms in the elbow socket there. Just trying to challenge our concentration, challenge our control here. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Karawi tomahe, as always, the first thing we do is a little bit easier, so you can stick with that if that's the best place for you. Just do what feels comfortable for you here. This is not a time to be pushing yourself and making yourself feel uncomfortable. You want to be feeling really good. So let's go on to our single leg lift. So we're just lifting, gliding one leg up, gliding it back down. We've done these a lot now, so you know that it might be appropriate for you to have a block underneath your foot so you don't have to rock your pelvis in order to get the foot down to the mat, or you might know that your foot doesn't go to the mat, in which case you don't even try to make that happen. Beautiful. Let's try the other side again. Same idea. Quite fun to do this in front of a mirror so you can just check, is your knee stacking over your hip? Is your shin parallel to the floor? That we're not bringing our knee too close to our chest, especially as we tire. And let's take alternating. So again, just alternating, making it a little bit harder, mimicking walking. Drawing your hip bones, outer hip bones in, so we've got that lovely stability in our hips. Beautiful. And if you'd like to, we can curl ourselves up to that Pilates curl position for the last few. You definitely have your hands behind your head so you can feel those ribs are nice and closed. Let's do 6. Feel those little shoulder blades underneath you. 4, how light can you be on them? 2, Haere tonu, keep going. Last 1. Beautiful, roll back down. Fantastic work. Feel that tummy warming up? Let me know. I hope you do. We're going to feel it warm up a little bit more now. So we're going to roll like a little ball. Tuck the chin. Roll a few times on your back. Keep that chin tucked. Maybe don't come up all the way. Just stay on your curve. Or maybe you can come all the way up and rock back down again. Try to keep those legs nice and still. Remember, you could absolutely put your knees, elbows on your knees to get a little bit more core work here. Take one more up and down, and then we'll go on to our little single leg series. So I'll just move back a little bit so you can see me. So rocking a couple more times, rock back into that curled position. Beautiful. Keep your one leg bent, the leg nearest to me, extend the opposite leg, and you could absolutely have different options here. Head down, hands behind the back of the head, or arms in Pilates curl position. And whakawhitia to a waiwai, swap the legs over, hold again, but check you've got that beautiful belly breathing happening. If you haven't, support your neck or bring your head down. And let's keep moving. Whakawhitia tō waiwai, we're going to pull the knee into the chest, pulse, pulse, extend, pulse, pulse, extend, pulse, pulse, extend, pulse, pulse, extend. Feel your belly drawing that knee in. One more time. And let's pause both knees in, have a little tuck. You could hold your knees down low, up high, maybe even interlock your hands and have a really big squeeze here. Stretch that whole spine out onto the mat if you can. Maybe in time you can feel your tailbone and the back of the head all on the mat as well. Going on to our double leg stretches now. We make a little ball shape and then we extend. So again, the easiest option would be to be straight up and straight down with your arms and legs. And as you become stronger, we can take a more distal position with our levers. Our levers are our arms and legs, so they could be further away if that tummy is strong enough to sustain you, if your back isn't arching. So again, you are the person who knows how you're feeling, and be honest to yourself. We don't want any injuries here. So let's curl up into that little position again, tucking. You could use your hands to help tuck and lift that tailbone up off the mat, or you might have the strength to do that all by yourself with your lower belly. Inhale, lift, exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift, exhale and tuck. Inhale, lift and extend, exhale and tuck. One more, extend, exhale and tuck. Beautiful. Onto our scissors. So the leg nearest to me is extended all the way up. It's disappeared up into the sky. My legs are so long, and the other leg is hovering away from you. Again, arms could be at your sides, head down, come up into that Pilates position. Even pump your arms like we do in hundreds. And whakawhitia tō waiwai, swap and hold. 3, 2, 1, and we'll do these a little bit faster with control for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Have a little tuck. Beautiful job. From here we're going to roll onto our tummies. So take yourself there and stack your head in your hands. Just have a little break for a second or two there, and we'll go on to opening up our upper back a little bit more. So when you are ready, bring your arms out to your sides like an aeroplane, and you can tuck your chin and pop it onto your little towel here. I'm going to turn my head so you can hear me, but you keep your head down and just listen. You're going to roll the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and lift the arms up again. Feel that squeeze. And then use that squeeze, pull the arms away, squeeze the shoulder blades together to glide a few ribs up off the mat. Keep tucking your tailbone, lift your belly button off the mat as you draw your hands down to cobra. Squeeze elbows in, lengthen through the crown of the head. And then stretch your arms out, turn your head to one side and relax completely. Let's try that again. Can you lift your knees so you've got your quads on? Tuck the tailbone, lift the belly button up off the mat, and then draw your hands onto your fingertips, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe you can use that to lift your chest up, and then glide your hands again to cobra, holding for a few seconds. Can you close your ribs here? Can you hover your hands for 3 and 2 and 1, and again stretch your arms out, turn your head and kia toe, relax completely. We'll do that one more time. So turn your head and tuck. Come onto your fingertips, Lift your knees, lift your belly, lift your heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together, glide the arms up like little aeroplanes, draw them in, holding your cobra. Can you close your ribs to pop up a tiny bit more? 3, 2, 1. Here's the change, hands down but glide them in front of us into Sphinx pose. Roll the shoulders back, and maybe you can give yourself a wee wriggle to try and get your chest forward as much as possible. Tuck the chin and lengthening up here. So from here we're on to our single leg kicks. So flex the foot nearest to me. I'm doing the one nearest to you, and we're flexing and pointing towards our bottom. 1, 2, 3, and then pointing the foot and extending it away. The other side. Kick, 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 extend it away. And kick, 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 extend it away. Kick, 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 extend it away. Now if you can, you might be able to lift your knees up off the mat, tuck your tailbone so that you actually only have this tiny bit of your pubic bone on the mat, maybe not even that. Or you could really focus on opening up your chest, lifting your chest forward and squeezing your arms together. You could even put a block between your hands to give you a little bit more engagement. So we'll do one more set. I want you to really think about either lifting your quads, lengthening and getting your tummy up off the mat, or being more active through your hands at the front. So let's try that again. Kick, 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 extend, kick, 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 extend. This is a lovely hip flexor opener for those people who need them to get opened. One more on this side and one more on this side. Beautiful. And then let yourself relax again. Turn your head to the side and have a complete break. Okay, so we've opened up our chest a little bit, we've opened up our hip flexors. Let's go into a reverse plank. So just coming onto a position where you have got your hands either facing forward or facing back, really depending on your ribs and what feels good for you. Sorry, not your ribs, your wrists. And we're going to push into the mat, squeeze the shoulder blades together, use that same lift through the chest, and then push through our heels to glide our bottom up off the mat. And we're trying to lift the hips as much as possible, squeeze shoulder blades together. Really active. And holding for 3, 2, 1. Tuck the tailbone, glide back down. Great job, and just let yourself have a little break. We're going to do that a couple more times. That was option 1. Option 2, again, think about what's best for your wrist. You could absolutely try it both ways. This time pushing the heel of the foot nearest to you onto the mat to stretch out the other leg. And we're really pushing the heel into the mat. That's when we get a lot of lift. So both heels are pushing. Big breath in, exhale to extend. And can you tap the toes, I'll move back a little bit so you can see, the toes of your extended foot onto the mat. Get them onto the mat so you can really lift through those hip flexors. Push, push, push. So you can lift your hips high. 3, 2, 1, and extend back down. Tuck that tailbone. Have a little break. Even cross your legs, whatever feels nice for you there. We'll try that on the other side. So again, push, squeeze elbows together, lift the chest, push your heels into the mat. Once you're up, point the toe, try and get the toe onto the mat. Lift, lift, lift. Feel the muscles at the side of the neck coming up to support your neck. And then come back down. Beautiful way to open up that heart space. We've got one last one to go, and we're going to come up with both straight legs if you want to. Great to see Colin and Carmel. Great to see you both. Kia ora. Kia ora, Jess. And now we'll come up onto both legs if you want to. Otherwise, go back to one of the little variations we've already done. So both legs out. Squeeze shoulder blades together.
use your glutes, push through those heels, and then what can you do to get the toes onto the mat? Lift those hips. Maybe you can let your head relax a little bit more, holding for 3, 2, 1, and then bring yourself back down again. Cross your ankles, let yourself completely relax. Beautiful job, everybody. Karawi tomahi. Let's go into our fetal 5. So I absolutely encourage you to use a blanket or a cushion, anything you can to be really comfortable and relaxed through our neck. It's really easy for us to use our neck and chest muscles instead of the muscles we're trying to use, those glutes. So you could rest your head in your bicep, you could rest your head in your hand, or maybe you've got a nice blanket as well you could use. Bringing our knees up to a 90-degree angle in front of us. And we'll just start by being really relaxed to our shoulders and neck. Big breath in and everything out. Great job. Have you got a wee space underneath your side waist? So you could think of it as a little space you could slip a scarf into. So we're lifting up here, drawing this top hip away from us because we're using our side waists here. And the first exercise we're doing, we're just opening the book. We're just opening this knee in line with the other knee, and we're not letting it draw back. We're actually trying to keep knee and knee parallel. So more that you're coming up a glass window or a wall. So you're drawing this knee away from you towards me as you're bringing the leg up, rather than letting the hip draw back. Keep lengthening through this hip, lengthening it down and away from you. That's this. One more. Beautiful. Flex the feet and clams. Same idea. We're opening, but we're not letting the knee draw back. It's drawing forward and out. Out and away towards the camera, towards your screen. Can you give me a little poke with your knee because you're pushing it forward so much? Just one more to open and one more to shut. You could keep going with that, or we can slide the heels up and clams again. Same thing, we don't want this top hip to scrunch in, we want it to draw down. And we don't want this top hip to rock back, we want it to stay completely still. In order for that to happen, we need to think about the knee drawing towards me. One more. Beautiful. And you might want to put your fingers on the mat, roll your shoulders back, knee to knee, and toe to toe. This heel slightly goes behind. You could absolutely put this bottom foot on the mat if you wanted to, and slightly behind. And again, so still through the hips. Beautiful. Don't you do very many of these? They are so effective and a little bit cumulative as well. Okay, and last of all, we'll take an opening and we'll extend in a way. And again, my legs are so long, they're going out of the camera, but I'm actually pointing and extending the leg as long as I can, putting these all together. Hopefully there's a really nice burn going on now behind the back there. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. You can let me know if you're feeling that burn too. I sure am. One more up and one more away. Beautiful. Let's take open the book again. There's a different open the book. So if you did have something to rest your head on, a ball or a block, you could pop it there. Otherwise on the mat's fine. Both hands together. Draw the hand, top hand forward and then away. We might even close into an elbow, into a book shape, and draw it away. Just opening and releasing our heart space a little bit. Maybe following your hand, your gaze. And following whatever breath feels nice for you here. Maybe inhaling to open, open, open. Exhaling back.
Or you could inhale back and exhale to get some more power to bring yourself back. Really, whatever feels good for you here. Beautiful. And before we change sides, let's grab our block, ball, another rolled up blanket, and pop it between the legs again. This time head down, and these legs could be ever so slightly in front of us, just so we don't topple over. And we don't want to lift these legs up very high, so let's just start by squeezing the ball. Like we've already done, we've squeezed it between our knees, activating these inner thighs and these side waists. Just squeeze a couple more times here. You might feel a battle of the legs, which one's the dominant leg. Beautiful. And you could continue with squeezing, or perhaps you could just lift a tiny amount, only a centimetre or two off the mat, and bring it back down. We want to feel these oblique muscles working, not the deep muscles of the back getting fired up, particularly if you do have back injuries. Often these back injuries can be from overwork, because we don't want to fire up those deep back muscles. Really trying to still use the focus that we've had for these past few weeks, our obliques. One more up and one more down. Beautiful. Bring your knees into your chest and roll into your back. You might like to take a few windscreen wipers so we can just let our knees sweep to one direction and to the other. You could absolutely bring your arms over your head and turn your head in the opposite direction, so it's just a nice full stretch out. And then we can make our way to the other side. So set yourself up again in that beautiful position for fetal 5, and legs in a 45-degree angle, some kind of support underneath your head there. Nice job. And feeling really relaxed through your neck here. So just turn everything off, give your jaw a wiggle, teeth apart, tongue to the roof of the mouth. And we'll start again with just drawing the top hip down a wee space underneath our side waist here, and opening the top knee and foot just to hip height and closing it back down. Just establishing that we are stable through this hip. So we're drawing the hip down, keeping it nice and long in the waist here. One more up and one more down. Beautiful. Glide the feet up and clams. So again, we want to be pushing the heels together, keeping the hips still and lengthened. Pausing and opening that knee towards me, towards your screen. And we'll move on to our next little variation. I think I've missed one out. I haven't gone head to head with our feet on the ground. So if you had your feet on the ground, well done. You remembered the sequence. If you didn't, because you'll be following your teacher, then all good. Let's put our feet down for the next set. Beautiful. Okay. And then we'll have our knee together. You could have bottom foot up or bottom foot down. And heel to heel, ever so slightly behind the other heel. Knee to knee, heel to heel, and knee to knee, heel to heel. So good for our hips. Taking our hips into this beautiful internal rotation and external rotation. And we'll finish it off. Open the knees and extend the leg completely. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And back. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Can you tuck your tailbone a little bit? Bring these hip points up towards your face and close back down. 2 more like that. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Close. 1 more. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And close. Both arms in front of us with bent elbows. Open the book, puka puka. just use your head as well if that's nice for your neck. Trying to not let the hips move. So it really is all about getting a little bit more movement through our thoracic spine. And if you do have something you can pop between your feet, pop it between your feet now. Lengthen those legs out into a 30-degree angle in front of you. And we'll just start with some little squeezes again, squeezing the legs and relaxing, squeezing and relaxing, firing up those inner thighs. And then we can glide the feet up just a couple of centimetres, just enough that you can feel, you can really feel, and put your hand here on your side waist. Side waists are off. When I glide them up, my side waists are on. So we don't need to bring the feet very high at all. It's all about length, lengthening those legs away from us, squeezing them towards each other more than how high we can go. A couple more like that. Woohoo! Okay. And again, onto your back. Take those little windscreen wipers, knees to one side, then the other. Maybe arms overhead for a lovely big stretch. Maybe looking over your shoulder completely. And those knees and arms, do whatever feels nice for you here. If there was another stretch that suits you, take that as well. Cool. Okay, so let's go on to a couple of those little other challenges that I talked about at the beginning of the class. I'll just move this so we can see. So we can, we've got our side bends, our side kicks, and we've got our side plank. And obviously if those are not the right thing for you today, then you absolutely do not need to take them. So hopefully by now you've got a little repertoire of oblique exercises that you can do, and I will cue those, but you can take those as well. This is really, of course, about your body and your practice. Let's just start on our knees, wherever we are, in a kneeling position, and we'll just open up a little bit through those hip flexors again. So bring one leg in front of you, tuck the tailbone, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And this might be enough. This might be a really nice stretch for you just where you are. Otherwise, the same side as your long leg, you could bring your opposite arm up, stretch your arms away from you, and have a nice big long stretch here. Again, tuck the tailbone and think of these hip points coming up towards your face. You're trying to have that long lower back. Can you drop this hip down a little bit? Maybe come across for a couple of breaths and then back. And we'll go on to our runner's lunges. We've done these quite a few times now, so absolutely use blocks to keep that lovely long back. Otherwise onto fingertips, stretching forward and rocking back with a flexed foot if you can. Stretching forward and rocking back. Really important to keep that lovely neutral spine. So do whatever you need to do to keep your back long. One more forwards and back. Beautiful work. Okay, and then we'll take that onto the other side. So back onto our knees. Bring your foot forward. Squeeze knees and feet towards each other. Opposite arm if that's nice. Stretching through those arms. Maybe lifting up and over into a little oblique stretch. Drop this hip down. Holding for a couple of breaths here. Even hand to your forehead if that feels better for your shoulder. And then back to our runner's lunge onto those fingertips. Rocking back, stretching forward. Rocking back and stretching forward. Maybe you can rock back and pull your toes back to get a little bit more stretch through those hamstrings. Okay, and then onto our knees. Beautiful, arms out into a
capital T position. Take one leg out, push the heel into the mat to fire up your glutes, and that same side, hand behind the back of the head. Stretch yourself down to this beautiful stretch position. You could absolutely have a block underneath your hand to get this lovely feeling of length. This might be enough for you to stay here. Otherwise, you could glide your foot up off the mat, flex the foot, close the ribs, and again we're imagining we're being pushed between two walls, so trying to tuck the tailbone and close those ribs, keep this connection between here. Maybe you can point your foot forward, flex it back. Maybe you can point forward, point, and flex back. Point, flex back. Last one, point, flex back. Glide it back down and bring yourself back up. How did you go with that challenge? We haven't done that for a few weeks. Hopefully that was better for you. You could breathe and you felt a little bit more stable, a little bit more controlled. Do let me know. So let's bring our opposite leg out. Push the heel into the mat. Fire up the glute. Arms out. Hand behind the back of the head. Close these ribs. Tuck the tailbone. Gliding down. And again, this could be where you stop and stay for today. Gliding your leg up, and again this might be where you stop and stay today. Otherwise, pointing forward with a pulse, flexing back, pulse forward, pulse, flex back, point forward, point, flex back. Two more, point, flex back. Almost there. Kia kaha. And glide down. Woohoo! Beautiful work, everybody. Let's go on to our side planks now, which we, again, it's a little lovely way to challenge ourselves and see how our strength is going. So if that's not something you are interested in doing or would like to do, then you could absolutely take your mermaids instead. So wherever you are, we'll start in mermaids. So we've got one leg, both legs in one direction. Maybe the foot of this second leg tucked in towards your bottom a little bit more. Arms out nice and wide, and we're going to lean forward again, hand onto the mat, lifting up and over. And exhaling, taking yourself the other way. Maybe holding onto your shin, using that little grip to help pull yourself over a little bit more. So just keeping on going here. There's no right or wrong. Trying to keep both of your hip bones or sitting bones on the mat. So if you can feel that one's lifting, absolutely put a little bit of a rolled up towel or blanket underneath that side. So you've got that lovely feeling of opposition, that you can really push this hip into the mat and get that lift from that point up into the opposite side. So I definitely have times when I have to put a little blanket underneath me. As I've been working away on the side series, it's making a huge difference to how much strength I've got here. Continue with that if that's where you're up to. If you would like to try side plank, then coming on to the side where your knees are pointing, hand underneath your shoulders, slide your legs away from you, push through your hand to come up into a side plank, and then put your hand onto your side. So you can push your hips up into your hand here. So hands pushing into your sides pushing up. We're holding for a few more seconds here. Can you tuck your chin? Can you close your ribs? Can you push your hips up a little bit more? Can you flex your feet? Can you lift your knees? Can you push your hips up a little bit more? We're here for 4 more seconds. You can do it. 2, 1, and then slide back down with control. Karawi tōmahi, beautiful job. Bring your knees over to the other side. And again, tuck this foot close to your bottom if you can. Have a wee wriggle to establish you've got both sit bones. Beautiful. And on this side, I do need a little towel. And then we're going to bring our arms out, up and over. Exhale again, maybe holding on to your shin to help you tuck and get a little bit more lift here. Beautiful. Up up and over. Inhaling and exhaling, whatever feels good for you here. And you can continue with these, or you might like to join me for your side plank on the other side. So bring your hand underneath your shoulders, spread your hand wide, slide your feet away from you so your heels are stacked, top arm up, and then push up into that arm. Then hand onto your side so you can really push this whole side into that hand. Beautiful job. I can see the clock. I'm watching. Can you tuck your tailbone, tuck your ribs, lengthen from your heels to the crown of the head, roll your shoulders back. Just another 5 more seconds. Keep going. Roll your top hip forward, push your hips up into your hand. 3, 2, 1, and sliding down. Woohoo! Beautiful job. Let me know how you got on. Let's finish with a couple of little stretches. Open up your legs wide. And again, absolutely put your bottom onto a blanket or a block if this is hard for you, if you find that you're having to scrunch or curve your back. Let's bring one hand across our body and hold onto our thigh. Opposite arm lifts up and over. You'll feel a lovely stretch in those deep back muscles here. Resisting the stretch with this arm, so we're using that little bit of resistance to get a lovely stretch. If this isn't a good position for you, you could also do this with cross legs as well. Opposite hand across, lift up and over. Feel that beautiful stretch in those deep back muscles. Let's try it again with cross legs. See which is better for you. So again, one hand across. I'm going to pop up onto a little blanket so that my knees are closer to the mat. Pushing, pulling one hand across, resisting. Using that to help lift up and over. For this lovely stretch. And then the other side. Use that to help you lift up and over. So then you'll know which gives you the best stretch, which feels the most restorative for you. Beautiful. And let's bring our knees in front of us. Knees all the way down to the side. And we'll reach across and away from us in a wee spiral twist. Bring our arms back, knees across, all the way down to the mat before reaching away. And keep going in your own time. A little spiral twist. Just check that those knees are all the way down before you reach away. Reaching away. So, as well as our strengthening that we've been doing for our side waists, it's really important to stretch them as well and release the tension. And there's nothing like twists for that. They can make you feel pretty old too. Okay, and let's come on to where we began with some cats and cows. Onto our hands and knees. We'll break it down a little bit like we did at the beginning. So inhale and exhale to prepare. Inhale and exhale, tuck your chin, gaze towards your belly button. Inhale back to neutral, and then can you pull your hands towards you to look just about 1 metre ahead of you and bottom up. So we really don't want chin leading, think of your nose leading. And back to neutral, and then to our flexion, back to neutral and to our extension. Back to neutral and flexion, the cat, back to neutral and Miko, the cow. Mineru, Miko. Beautiful. Okay, and last of all, we'll just take some another little stretch through our sideways. So into a child's pose, you could have open knees, you could have closed knees. Knees together, knees apart. Do put something underneath your bottom if your bottom and heels don't connect. Do put something underneath your forehead if your forehead and the ground don't connect. We're here for a good couple of minutes. We're going to be going from the one side to the middle and to the other side and back. So it's give yourself time to be set up and be comfortable here. So absolutely put a block underneath your bottom, underneath your forehead. And let's start by just stretching out in front of us as long as possible. Tuck the chin. And relaxing there. So just taking some big deep breaths here. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling that beautiful belly softening as you inhale, drawing it back into your spine as you exhale. Feeling yourself being stretched from your belly button down to your bottom, down to the tailbone, and from your belly button up down to the crown of the head. Stretching everything out. One more big breath in, and as you breathe out, can you walk your hands over in one direction? Feel a lovely big stretch through the side waist. Tuck the chin. And now breathing into the side of your waist. Really noticing that you can inhale and open up those little intercostal muscles between the ribs as you inhale, and feel them joining together as you exhale. Sometimes we can even put one hand on top of the other. So in the direction that you are twisted, you can put the hand on top and feel a little bit more of a stretch for the last 20 seconds here. So again, try and be as neutral as possible in your hips. So just give your hips a wee wriggle from side to side and just check that you're nice and long through your side waist. Beautiful work. Big breath in, and as you exhale, just slowly travel through neutral all the way to the opposite side. And now you might be able to open your legs a little bit wider, giving those adductors, those inner thighs, a good stretch. We've worked them quite hard today, so really important to stretch them out as well. So can you open your knees a little bit wider? And again, maybe you can put your opposite hand on top to get a little bit more stretch. And then settling into stillness for the last 30 seconds here. Really feeling a beautiful relaxation, a surrender, letting everything go. And big breath in, exhale back to the center again. And again, you might be able to just wriggle your hips from side to side, tuck your tailbone a couple of times, and open the legs a tiny bit wider for the last few seconds. Reach your arms away from you as long as possible, trying to get a lovely big stretch in those inner thighs. Surrender here for the last few breaths. Inhaling. Let everything out. Inhaling ease. And exhaling any tension or worry. Inhaling calm. And exhaling. Inhaling love and gratefulness that you've found this time to look after yourself today. I know I'm grateful you've come to join me. And the next time you're exhaling, just use your hands, draw them back, carefully use them to push yourself back up. Bring your knees together. Just take any kind of comfortable seated position for yourself. And we'll take our hands to heart center. Tihei Modi Ora. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I'm really grateful to have your support and know that you're here watching and coming along with me. So remember to support my classes. It's all about the likes and the loves and the comments and the sharing, and so thanks for all of you for doing those things. And a call to action, I'll see you on Monday for more Pilates here, and I'll try and get Jim to do some yoga with me on Sunday as well, so I'll keep you posted over the weekend about that. So have a lovely weekend everyone, and well done staying home, keeping safe. Mā te wā, ka kite anō.